I don't know if you can agree, but it's like you could be really nervous for a show coming up, and then you walk out on the stage, and as soon as you sit down, you're like, okay.
Behind every hit song is an undeniable beat. So why doesn't anyone talk to the drummer about it? We're getting behind the kit with some of the best drummers in North America. This is Drummer to Drummer.
How much press would you do compared to other members in the band?
I'm like second, I guess. Like second amount.
But like 80%,
Oh.
10%.
Percentage-wise.
I'm-
Like 60.
Wow,
Depends.
you're on the higher end of drummers we've talked to. Because you're a three-piece band, that's, the drums takes on more of a responsibility. Not a more of a responsibility, but it's certainly more audible than, a seven-piece band.
Right.
It has to take on more responsibility. How does the songwriting process work for you within that band?
It's pretty, it's like a slow building block thing. Like, Luke comes in with his ideas, and, sometimes we'll just be playing, and something will kind of, take form there, and kind of build the parts. My whole thing is, I'm very particular about fills and where they go. I try to make everything really deliberate, so I'm not, because there's only three of us, so everyone needs the room to breathe, and it's already kind of there, but, you see bands where people are, playing all over each other, and, Luke especially is very melodic in his vocals, so I try not to take away from that and the push and pull there. I was thinking about it recently too, because we kind of start until everyone figures out the songs, and then from there we build the dynamics. And that was kind of how our music teacher in high school would have the concert band learn songs. It was just he'd get the band together and everyone all the clarinets learning their part, and he would slowly dissect it and then build it up again so that we had the dynamics figured out to make it not just kids playing a song.
Yeah.
Make it an actual piece.
Wow, it's interesting how that's kind of gone full circle. So you won a Juno. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's huge.
Yeah, that was something. I wasn't expecting it. Well, obviously, how do you expect that? But us especially, it was we're just some scrappy three-piece band from Dundas, Ontario.
But, so well-deserved. You guys worked so hard. You work so hard. You're on the road all the time. You write really great songs. You also just finished some pretty hefty touring, which had some pretty huge shows on it.
Yeah.
How does so going back to the three-piece band thing,
yeah.
Do you put pressure on yourself as more people start watching?
I told someone recently, it's kind of like that whole thing about a frog in boiling water, where if you throw a frog into boiling water, it'll jump right out immediately, but if you let the water come to a boil with the frog in it, it won't tell that it's too hot, and it will die. But the same idea is I try not to think about it, I notice it and I appreciate it, but we always just seem to be able to just stay focused on what we're doing and not let those things come too much into our heads to mess us up, or pump an ego or whatever, or let it bother me. The craziest moment I could say was we opened for The Who, actually, full circle, which was crazy. It was Luke's birthday in the summer at Fest d'été in Quebec City, and it was holy fuck. First of all, we're opening for The Who today, and then that field, the Plains of Abraham, holds 100,000 people. And it was not 100,000 people when we played, but it was still 40 to 60,000 people. And I was just freaking out inside. And then it's kind of weird. I don't know if you can agree, but it's you could be really nervous for a show coming up, and then you walk out on the stage, and as soon as you sit down, you're okay.